Hey guys, what is going on? It's Virgo here. We are back with Death Parade episode number 3. I just gotta get this out of the way. This is one of the most enjoyable times for me on YouTube, just in general, because I literally have a trifecta right now of 3 of possibly my favorite anime of all time that I'm currently watching. First, of course, is Hunter x Hunter. Second is JoJo. And those two I kind of like to bring up because, again, we'll be watching them for a while, so it's very exciting. And the third one is this show, Death Parade. Now, I might have overstated when I said favorite anime of all time, but I just mean like they have the potential to be on that level. You know what I mean? Death Parade. I'm just excited to watch every episode because I'm just so intrigued by what we've seen for the first 2 episodes, and I don't think this show's gonna let me down one bit. So last episode, a couple things happened. We met Nona. Well, we met her in the first episode, but you know what I mean. We kind of actually met her this episode, as well as kind of the unnamed girl who we don't know. I also wrote down Queen, who I believe was the girl who implanted the memories of Machiko and Takashi into Deckham's brain. And then also, again, the scene where we saw Machiko kind of crying before her confession, kind of showing that, you know, she felt bad about what she did, and she wanted to basically lie to Takashi to kind of make his guilt about killing his child, you know, die down even just a little bit. And then, of course, at the very end, Nona comes out and says, you know, on top of that, Takashi could not be he couldn't trust. Right, and that was his problem. He could not trust his wife, and he didn't believe that the child was his own, and Takashi was the actual one who caused all these problems. Now, again, of course, she said at the very end she still has a lot to learn. I'm assuming that's talking about the black-haired girl, but I'm not sure why she would still have a lot to learn if she deduced that so well, you know what I mean? Unless there were tiny little bits and pieces here and there that she didn't catch on to, whereas Nona did. But I'm still a little bit confused about that line at the end there. But I love the open-endedness of what happened between Takashi and Machiko. Because, again, even though Nona said what she said, it's very clear at this point that, you know, these arbiters that we have, they're susceptible to mistakes, all of them. And hell, we will never know for sure what Takashi and Machiko, what they were really feeling. Because, again, what if by some weird twist of fate, Machiko was actually lying on top of her fake lie, where she was actually the ultimate evil person? I don't know. It's obviously not the case, but I'm saying it's possible. You know what I mean? Anyways, I'm going to stop blabbering on. We're going to get into episode 3. So again, as always, links at the top of the description. We'll take you to Vimeo. You can watch the reaction there, and then you can head back here afterwards for the post-episode discussion. With that out of the way, let's get into the episode. Not at all what I expected. This was a phenomenal episode. I mean, I expected it to be a really good episode, of course, but it just... Alright, so the episode starts off, again, with us seeing that we're going to be dealing with a new couple here. And again, I'd assume that these aren't all going to be couples. It's just pairs that die together, right? Also, along that question, I wonder what happened to the rest of the people on the bus. Either they lived or maybe they died and they're sent there at at separate times or whatever. I'm not sure. Or you know what? Maybe if they said specifically that these are where pairs are going to go, maybe they were specifically talking about couples, right? I'm not sure. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Maybe like a father and a child will go there one time, maybe. Or I don't know. Maybe it is just couples. But we started out, we see that we have Mira, the male, and we have a girl who's unknown. And they were killed on a bus. So, they go to the Queen Deckham, where they will bowl with each other's hearts. So they're bowling, and we keep seeing this scene of this little girl holding her mom's hand, like walking away, and we kind of assume early on that that is the girl that we're seeing now. And we learned that that girl and Miura were childhood friends, right? So we're getting the idea again that they knew each other, you know, early on, and maybe just kind of split apart after a while or something. So next we get a flashback of Miura at the bowling alley, where he sees again the girl that we've been seeing this whole time. She works at the bowling alley. And again, it's clear at that point he doesn't remember who she is. Like, he doesn't know who she is. Even if she did know her in the past, he wasn't aware at that time. So it's been a long time since they've seen each other. Excuse me. And then we get the bombshell. The girl kind of remembers back to that scene of the park where Chisato was leaving Miura for, I mean, the way they were talking, it sounded like that was their last goodbye, the last time they would see each other. I'm not sure if she was moving to a different city maybe, or just moving across the city. I'm not sure. But she remembers, she's like, that's my name, I'm Chisato. And I wonder if right then and there she already knew that that wasn't true. And I'm feeling like that's probably the case. Because again, the reason why she remembered that scene was because she was there. She just wasn't Chisato, right? So that's going on. And then she remembers the bowling alley scene then, where again, that's where Miura and his friends were and stuff. And that's what makes her remember. I guess that's what made her remember that she was Mai. Not the first scene. I think the first scene she genuinely believed that she was Chisato, possibly. I'm guessing, or maybe she was just in heavy denial until that second flashback. But then she remembered, okay, I'm not, and then it cut off there, and I'm like, I remember I was like, is she not Chisato? Like, what's happening? She remembered at that point for sure, whether again it was denial or whether she just completely forgot previously that she is Mai. I'm leaning towards a bit of both, because again, she clearly wanted to be Chisato, right? That's who she wanted to be. She wanted to be in Miura's eyes, like in that light, right? So, and it's kind of sad knowing that Miura and Mai, right after that park scene, they, like, Mai said, I will always be here with you, you know, we're going to be friends, whatever. It seems like they split up shortly after that, because, again, Miura did not remember Mai. Oh, no, I guess she got plastic surgery, though, so I don't know. I get the feeling, though, that they split up as friends after that. So what I'm saying is, Miura and Mai were at the park. Chisato split up from them. She was gone forever. That's the end of her story. She's gone. Then Mai says, that's okay, I'm going to stay with you, Miura. But it seems like right after that scene, after maybe, I don't know, maybe right after, or maybe a couple years after, they split up as well, which is why Miura wouldn't have known. Oh yeah, no, I'm getting mixed up. I forgot he went to a different high school as her. So, anyways, Mai got a plastic surgery, which of course would, you know, make sure the fact that Miura didn't recognize her at the bowling alley. And that, anyways, I was going off of way tangents. That's what reminded Mai who she was, because again, that's just what it was. That was the catalyst for that. So they were bowling, and Miura, I don't know if it was now or earlier, I think it was earlier, had brought up the idea that if he won, they would go on a date. So Mai was purposely losing. Then at the last, you know, it was the very last shot that she remembered who she was, and that's where all the conflict was happening. And then right after that, Miura still didn't, like, we still didn't hear that Mai had a plastic surgery or anything. We still thought she was Chisato, right? So when it ended and everything was said and done, there was still that big elephant in the room of what did she do in high school, right? And Miura goes and walks over to her, clearly remembering what that was, and he said, would you like to go on a date? And she's like, are you sure? And he was like, I know everything. I know what happened. So again, he knew who she was, that she was Mai. She knew that she was Mai, and that she was kind of like wanting to be Chisato, but they both accepted each other for who they were, which I thought was super cute. They go on their date, and they're off. And then we finally see the scene where Decim whispered, he was like, that girl is not Chisato. That's Mai. And it's just, I loved it. I love the way this episode was structured. I love the story. Again, I love Miura and Mai, the two characters. I thought it was super wholesome episode. And again, we saw them both go or get reincarnated. So again, there could be a case where we get two totally evil people who just get sent to the void. That's exciting, because I hope we get something like that, because that, I feel like that would be the most interesting episode, right? But anyways, honestly, I've been talking, like, I dragged out this ending like discussion quite a bit, so I'm gonna end it off here. Quick shout out to all my Patreon supporters. You guys are amazing. Again, if you want early access and or the full length versions of these reactions, just click that link in the description, hit to patreon.com/sphericalfilms and check that out. But with that out of the way, again, I do thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back on my schedule. I cannot remember it for the life of me, on Thursday with episode number 4. Until then, peace out.